Hi, welcome to River Tropics. My name is Susan. Today we are going to be separating out an asparagus fern and a foxtail fern. Wearing gloves is a must when separating the asparagus fern as it has thorns. So I'm going to bring them up here onto my potting bench and we'll get started. Okay, so now we're going to start with the asparagus fern, and this was my basket. As you can see, it's really full. So I'm going to start by taking the hanger off here. Okay, so let's just tilt it, and I'll get you to put your hand in there with the, because you've got the gloves on. And there. Give that a pull. Yep. I'm going to hold the pot. You pull. Oh no. It is root bend. There it goes. Okay. There you go. Wow. Sit that off to the side. Like I said, this is really root bound. We should probably have been separated a little bit sooner. We're going to start to break apart a lot of this root, and it's going to be really tight. Might have to take.
What's the balls on?
Basically, these balls, they just what they do is they absorb water. So if for some reason it doesn't get water, it's like a water storage, kind of like a camel stores its water in its humps. Well, this one stores it in its balls. I'm just going to come right up through and start cutting some of these. This can be quite a challenge once you, especially when you have it this root bound. So we're just cutting side edges off of it, and then we can get into the center where the plant is. Okay, so my husband's going to come in and he's going to saw down through the center of this. Of course, you need gloves on. Ouch! Right off the bat, ouch! It's the thorns on this are really nasty. So he started right there. We're going right down through the very center, and he's going to continue to cut here.
Hey.
Okay.
Tough.
Okay. So now we've got this broke apart in two sections. Going to have a little bit right there.
What'd you do? Put your hand too close?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, so now some of these are going to break off that are really close to the edge in here, and don't worry about, we're going to pull those out of the way. If they start to break off, we're not going to worry about those. They'll turn brown, but most of them should stay pretty good. We're going to try to narrow out some of this. We got a little excess on this side right here. Not sure if you can see that. So I'm going to get Tim just to cut that excess soil off on this side here.
Should I put gloves on this side?
Oh yeah, I should have gloves, because boy, that thing is...
Like right here?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Well, that's going to make it a little bit easier to get into the pot. And I'm also going to be laying it on its side like this. And I'll see here, maybe I can just get some of the... pull some of the excess root off of it before I plant it. And that should do right there now. If you're so inclined and you want to get more, you can also split it again. But for me, I'm only going to do the two because I just want the two, but you could also split it down the middle again, give it in another cut, and that would create two plants here, and we still have this one over here. But for me, I'm just going to leave this one as it is because I want it to come along really good, and we'll be putting that back into the basket. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the baskets. I'll be right back. There's one. And two. Okay, so basically in the center of the basket, just bring your soil up along the sides. Because you want to make sure that when you put this in, it's going to be down nice and deep.
Here, I'll get the car. I'll hold it up. You put the soil in.
So you can see how it's down nice and deep into the center. You center it. And Tim's has the gloves on, so he's gonna hold the branches up for me. And I'm gonna take the soil and throw it around the sides. Just tuck it in so that it's really tight, and we're gonna spin it around. Pick this up, throw a little more soil around it. Now once you get it pretty much good, you want to have it down from the ridge a little wee bit so that when you water, the water doesn't flow out over the sides. Now we have it started again for the next year. This is going to flourish, and it'll get, sometimes when you take a look at it, it looks just as big, but the size has reduced a great amount. So this will give it room to grow for the rest of the summer. Move this one out of the way. And then we put the next one in. Okay, that looks pretty good. Another thing about the asparagus fern, you can put it in a basket or in a container. If you have a container and you want volume, because it really gets big and it'll give you a nice volume in that area in your garden that you want to fill it in. Great plant to put in there because it is a rapid grower and it does very well outside. So now we're going to bring in the foxtail fern and we're going to separate it out. Oh, that shouldn't be too bad. Take the hanger off of this one. Okay. I find it easier to store the foxtail in a basket in the house during the winter time. Oftentimes I'll take the hanger off and sit the basket right down in my garden because it really looks beautiful. So right now we're just going to toss this out. Turn the basket sideways. And I'll let you get at that, Tim.
Put it here.
There
you go.
Okay. Okay, now again, just want to show you, these are cousins, okay? The foxtail and the asparagus fern are cousins. So when you have a look here, you're going to see the same type of little balls that go on this here that were on the asparagus fern that hold the water for the plant, okay? So with this here one, I'm going to take it a little bit easier on this here one because I don't want to lose the foliage on this one. I find that with the foxtail, unlike the asparagus, it's a little more finicky that way. So usually I work my fingers through the soil like this and until I can get the roots loosened, and then maybe I can unwind them from the, of course, as you can see, it's got quite a few on here, but most times when you get in underneath of the roots, there's lots of soil in the center. It tends to grow, the roots tend to grow around the outside of the basket, so once you get into the center like this, you can really start to shake them off and pull them apart like that. So you can see them start to unwind already. You just got to get your hand under the center is what it is. It's a cavern of soil in there. But with the foxtail, if you do not have any of the greenery, the foliage on it, and when you split it apart, it tends to die off. So when you're splitting it, be very careful. Make sure that you take a good cluster that you know is sturdy and has root on it. Otherwise, it's going to end up dying off on you because you can't just plant the root. It will not come up from the root. I wish it would. So I'm just pulling this apart now. Just look at how the soil just pours out of the center like it's a basket on its own. See see.
Quite a root system on it.
It's really a massive root system, and where these come, they always come on the bottom usually just to collect the water.
That's why you don't water it. It holds its.
Yeah.
It stores its water there.
It does store its water, so oftentimes they do require a lot of water, oddly enough. But the beauty of it is, okay, with this here, now you can see from last year, here's where I cut it off last year. I'd split it once before, it was twice as big, and I cut it off. So with this one, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down through the center. We are probably going to lose a few of the tall, I don't know what you call them, I guess, foliage there, but we aren't. And for this, we are going to need the saw again. So Tim's going to come in and do some sawing here. So just bear with me while I find the center. So I think here we have the, this one goes over here too. This one?
No, I think it's right there.
Right there, okay. So we found the center right here, and Tim's going to cut down through that with the saw.
We'll give it a go.
Here we go. Okay. So now, we're going to be cutting some of this root off too. You're not going to need all this. Actually, I'm going to do it right now because it's, there we go. Okay. So now we have one here. You want to check on there to see if everybody is anchored good to the root system. You may lose a few. Here's one here that wasn't anchored, so I'm just taking that out of there now. Just going to work my way around to see how well they are anchored, and I'm looking at this. What I'm planning to do is I want to have several pots of this for this year to put in the garden. So what I'm going to try to do is get Tim to give a cut down through there. Wait till I pull this one up out of there. Okay, and look at these. This one, I believe, and this one. And I think that's it. And when you cut it, kind of go
On an angle.
yeah, once you get down past there, right through there. Okay, here we go again.
Move your hand. I want to get your
Oh,
hand.
yeah, I don't want him to cut my hand. Okay, so that worked out really good. We still have root on this one. And how's that one? How many are we losing off of that? Any, or did it?
Yes. Seems pretty good.
Seems to have stayed. This one looks a little tepid, but there you go. So there's one stalk there that we'll be able to plant in a pot. And here we did lose one, but the others have stayed good.
There's a new one starting up here.
Yeah, there is a new one. So there we go. We got a replacement right there with the baby. So there's two. So that's two that we got there. Now let's have a look at the other. I'm just going to move some of these roots out of the way here. Okay, let's see if we got to leave this as a single or if we're going to be able to get another out of it. Sometimes you can tell where it's come up and it's put two or three beside it. It's got like a nodule, like a hard lump. And this here, I don't believe. And this one looks like it's pretty weak here, so I'm just going to pull that off now. That one seems to be staying good. This, it's getting pretty iffy. If I were to take that down through there, I may lose, but I might not. Right here. Do you see that little area right there? Straight down. Okay, I might be getting a little bit too okay, now let's see. Let's see if it's going to work out or if it isn't. Pull off the excess fruit that was cut. And let's have a look. Yep, we're okay. These are all stable. So there's another one.
This one seems to be pretty good too.
Is this one pretty good as well? Yeah, they all seem pretty stable, so there you have it.
Just get the pruners and I'll prune them off and hold them there.
Yeah. So we're going to take the roots and we're going to prune it right about there. Okay, so we're going to leave it so you can see now the roots are.
What about
That's
that ball?
that's
Doesn't
fine.
matter?
The ball's fine. Give it a little, suck up some extra moisture. Okay, and on this one, ooh, sorry about the light there, folks. We're going to go right about here. Yeah. So you're keeping the roots kind of like about that long.
6 inches.
About
6 inches.
5, 6 inches. Whoa. A little bit shorter, huh? Up a little bit more. Yeah, right about there. And for this, I'm just going to be putting them all in a pot, okay? Rather than putting it back in here, I'm going to be putting them all in a pot. So just bear with me for a minute, and I'm going to go get the pots and bring them back, and then we will, I'll show you how to get them planted in the pot, especially where they seem to be so top heavy, okay? Okay, so I've gone and get some pots, and I got something that's has a little bit of depth to it, because it's going to need that, especially with the root cut on it. So I'm just going to fill up a couple of these pots here, some fresh soil. Okay. So I poured some in. Now I'm going to take one of the plants here. We'll take this big one and get it done. So you're going to bury it down in, so that the very edge of this that we cut off right here, so that that's right near the top. And then you're going to fill in around it. Giving the pot a shake as you go, and that way it'll get down and around the roots and fill it up. Otherwise you're going to create an air pocket down in there. Just take your fingers and kind of shove down around to give it a little stability, and continue to fill around. What you're looking to have is so that this is going to be where you cut it off is at the top. That's going to be the same when you transplant. You don't want to go any deeper. Okay, so this one is ready. I'm going to be watering this. It'll start putting up some more babies in no time, and this will fill right in. Okay, so I'm going to finish these off. Okay, so that's everything for today. Thank you for watching. You'll now have some beautiful asparagus fern for your gardens. Just wanted to let you know what's coming up on the agenda. We've been doing a lot of planting of bulbs, separating of plants, but I thought we'd do something fun for the next video. So what we're going to be doing is taking different types of containers, like this here. It's just a standard, it almost looks like a little fish bowl. We have a little clay pot here. It's pretty short. We're going to be doing some really creative planting in there, making a beautiful centerpiece for your deck table. So do make sure that you like and subscribe this video. Come back to watch on this. And also pop on over to Facebook, where you can follow me there. It's Susan River Tropics. And I look forward to seeing you later. Everybody have a good day. Oh, and I just want to say thanks, Tim, for all your help.
No problem. Anytime. Have a good one.
All right.